Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is Darcy. So, Darcy, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do.
Thanks, Dan. Hi, I'm Darcy Laceby, co-founder and Chief People and Product Officer of Absolute Collagen. So I'm based in the UK, Birmingham specifically, and Absolute Collagen's the UK's number one beauty collagen brand and the number one collagen expert. So we're a direct-to-consumer brand that predominantly sells on subscription with supplements, skincare, and hair care. And last year, we're the UK's fourth fastest growing company as well.
So what made you want to get into the collagen space in the first place?
It's a very random story. It's quite weird, actually. So when I turned 18, I decided I wanted to go to university. Weirdly, I wanted to do psychology and then decided to change last minute to do food science. So off I went to university, and my mum, I think she was having like a midlife crisis. I'm not really too sure, but she decided to go to university at the same time, and she decided to do a fine art degree. Art students are wacky at the best of times. I'm quite crazy, but my mum's really crazy. So as part of her like second semester, see, look, I'm Americanizing it, semester, right? Second semester, she did this project where she basically chopped all her hair off and stopped wearing makeup and wore really like dowdy clothes. She also got a tattoo on her arm here that said I'm more than just a body, and wanted to basically see how the world saw her, but really what she actually uncovered was how insecure she was with herself. So she kind of went on this journey looking at what she was putting in her body, and everyone was drinking bone broth at the time, so like boiling big vats of chicken and things like that, and getting this kind of like dew, and then it was the jelly on top, which was the bone broth. I could use the labs at uni to see like what it was, and that was kind of how Absolute Collagen was born. So I'm proudly say I'm probably one of the few people in the world that actually use their university degree every day, which is good. It's a good investment compared with a lot of people, I think. So yeah, we then had our collagen supplement. It was all about like the kind of maximum, the ingredients you do need, minimum, the stuff you don't, in a really convenient ready mix format. So the products, or our hero products, the one we started with is our marine collagen supplement. So it's 8,000 milligrams of collagen in like a little 10 ml sachet, but we sell actually one dose, every 2 seconds globally as well.
So essentially that your mom decided to go to college here in the US, and what school was that?
She went to it's Wolverhampton. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a random place. So she went and did that. She obviously didn't finish the university degree. Like I think she did her second year, but then decided like she probably should do this business thing. My degree, luckily, my last year, I only did 2 days a week. Apparently that was full time, but I don't really get how it's full time. So I could manage to do the business alongside it.
For sure. And then when it comes to finding, I mean, obviously manufacturing is different everywhere. So did you find like a local partner in the UK, and what did that process look like for you?
Yeah, exactly. Once we knew it was the collagen that was the stuff that was making the difference, and people wanted that, it was then for us about finding really credible suppliers that have the data and the infrastructure and the results and the clinicals behind them, partner with. So we find a really reputable collagen supplier, so that's like the raw materials, work with lots of scientists on that and doctors to try and make sure that was like the best collagen that we could possibly find. And then it was about finding a manufacturer. We know convenience is a massive thing for our customers. Our customers are predominantly sort of 40 to 55 year old women. So we knew we wanted it in a little sachet so it could be taken anywhere. So then it was about finding a manufacturer in the UK that sold sachets, but not only sachets, premium sachets. The Greek word for collagen is cola, which translates to glue. So like if the sachets weren't premium, they opened, it's really sticky and it's a mess. So that was really important. So we found like a really reputable collagen supplier, a really reputable manufacturer, and then we find our contacts to kind of scale it up, I guess, and find someone to sort of blend the product. And one of them actually said, it's a really difficult product to make. Like we have copycat competitors, but they normally are like double the volume. So the same amount of collagen, but double the volume. And one of the manufacturers actually was like, oh, this is a stupid product. It would never blend. Like it is a pain in the ass to blend, but it blends eventually. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess I am just curious about that as well, right? Because you are in a very competitive space. So in terms of, so I mean, you're saying that you offer more for the cost, like what's kind of like the differentiator between you and your competition?
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of different things that kind of pulls Absolute Collagen apart. One of them is that volume aspect. So you're getting 8,000 milligrams of collagen at a small dose, so it's really easy to take. The biggest one for us is our clinical data. So we ran the UK's, it's actually not even the UK's, it's the world's largest clinical trial in a collagen supplement ever. So that was 130 people, double blind, placebo controlled, over 12 weeks. We got that data peer reviewed and published. Like the results are really good. So like 20% decrease in fine lines and wrinkles after 12 weeks, 33% decrease in or increase in skin evenness, 27% increase in new hairs on your head, 33% decrease in hair damage. Like they're really good results. And that's all versus placebo, which placebo effect's always around like, well, it's about 5%. You're always going to get weird results with placebo. You do in drug trials as well, but there's 30,000 data points in that study, and it's really robust. I was really pretty proud of it actually. But that's the
So
biggest difference really, is the fact it works.
so in terms of like your customers, are they mostly based in the UK or do you sell globally? What does that look like?
Yeah, so for us, we're about 95% UK. We have presence in a couple of European countries, so like Spain, Germany, Italy, France. But for us, we've scaled and grown really quickly. Like we've got about 80 team members who are all great, but we've got like so much shit to do. So it's like, what do we actually need to do fastest, and where are we best spending the time? Like if you came like here 2 years ago, I'd been like, yeah, we're agile, but really we're just a bit of a mess. And like everyone was running around like headless chickens. But now everyone actually has priorities and knows what to do. And I think we actually are agile, really. So it was just about prioritization. And I think international is like a big one for us, especially like the States or China, but significant investment in not only monetary value but also time.
So is that kind of like your vision, or do you want to go into like other channels, like retail, things like that? And where do you kind of see your business going just from that standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, we're really lucky in the fact that we turn over about 30 million a year. We basically market through one channel. We basically only have one product. We have skincare and hair care, but they're like supplementary. And the majority of our revenue comes from subscription. So like you could say that's a really good business model, or you could say like you need to just figure out some other shit, really. So we know we need to diversify the channels in terms of like where we show up and where we sell, which we're working on and we're doing. Watch this space. But also that was like a conscious decision being direct to consumer at the beginning. Collagen was quite nascent. It was quite a new category, and it was quite confusing for consumers to actually navigate the market and buy products from. So now that collagen's more out there and people understand it a bit more, we can go to other channels. The subscription element also really works. Like you need to take our product for 12 weeks really to see a difference. So subscription just is easy for our consumers and it makes sense. But yeah, we do need to diversify our channel mix and things like that. It's and also how we market. Like we're very reliant on performance-based marketing, like brand marketing. Our brand just always holds up because we use my mum's story, and our yellow color is just there. And it has like a true story, but we need to get better at brand marketing for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so in terms of performance marketing, so essentially, it seems to me like you've kind of grown your business off of meta ads, or do you do like any other channels?
Yeah, so initially, so the first 2 years, it was pretty much like 60 Meta, 40 Google. Now we're a bit different, like about 15% above the line, like TV out of home and that sort of thing, probably like 30% Meta, and then a mix between like YouTube, affiliates, a little bit of influencers to be fair. And yeah, that's probably it really. Our marketing mix is fairly, from a performance based, is fairly well split, like it's fairly balanced. Don't know if we've got our attribution right, but it's happening.
Yeah, no, yeah. I feel like especially for your kind of business with the subscriptions, it's like once you kind of get somebody in the door, you can funnel them in and just yeah, I mean it's always a good business model. And
Exactly.
I guess yeah, and I guess like from that standpoint as well, right? Obviously that we're still kind of in Q1, we're just wrapping up, Q1 here. So what are some of your biggest goals and objectives for the rest of 2025?
I think that channel point and distribution point is really interesting for us. We've got some cool things happening this year, leaving us not to be so reliant on direct consumer, and also our Amazon store. Amazon's like about, I don't know, 8% of our revenue probably. And then product. So we at the moment retail mainly our liquid supplement. That's like our key thing. And then we supplement that. We have 5 skincare products and 2 hair care products, which are normally kind of there for like lifetime value enhancing those supplement buyers. That sounds really, really black and white. I'm actually not a very black and white person, but the reason for developing new products for us is always to like show up where she wants our other products and products that make her feel good. But yeah, it's really that kind of product piece, like expanding that out. We launched a new product, a new powder product. So now we're in powders and liquid supplements, which is cool. But we know our core customer buys our product for like beauty benefits and skincare benefits, and just how can we kind of expand on that during 2025 is the key point, really.
So most of your customers are women above 40, essentially?
Yeah, really. Like entry point to the brand is 35, bullseye is 40, top end is like 55.
Okay, interesting. So in terms of like this business, right, obviously you've been doing it for some time. So if you could go back in time to before you got started, what is the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew?
That my naivety was a good thing, probably. I'm not an overly confident person. Like people think I am, but I can just portray that I'm really confident. But I don't necessarily believe in my own abilities, and I probably would. Like we had lots of people come on board in the early days, like probably 2020, we took investment. And I'd almost just like believe everything they say because I'm like, you've got a great CV, you've got a great history, like this is fine. Like I'm like 23, like ah. So I'd kind of just believe people. And I've realized over time, like I'm 27 now, I started this when I was 19. Like I actually know a customer better than anyone, and I just need to like believe myself a little bit more, probably. And even now, like I'll have days where I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, you know what you're doing. Like we'll just agree to something, and I'm like, why have I just done that? But just being a bit more like true to who I am, I think, and being a bit more like forceful or yeah, straight talking, probably.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean that's really good advice. Yeah, like, I think being confident for sure, especially like when you start like the brand like at 19, it can be hard, but obviously you've been doing it for a good amount of time. So like I think by now that definitely you have no reason not to be confident.
Yeah, and like all the suppliers that we went to at the beginning when it was like my mum who hadn't worked, so she looked after me growing up and my sisters, and I was 19. Like some people were like, "Oh, this is really weird." But the people that didn't, the people that did actually give us a chance, like we actually work with them now still. So you like we've kind of built really, really solid relationships with our supplier base, which is good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, if somebody watching this wanted to reach out to you, do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact.
Yeah, of course. So our website's absolutecollagen.com. You're welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn. So it's just Darcy Laceby, or Instagram, to be fair. I'm a big Instagrammer. I tend to reply to more messages on there than LinkedIn. LinkedIn gets crowded.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Darcy, thanks so much for your time today.
Well, thanks, Dan.